Gordon Smith.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I call to order this special council meeting this evening. Having taken roll and having a quorum, we will proceed. I don't believe we had anyone sign up on a public forum this evening. Rob, you can have.
Motion.
Nope. Good.
Robbie, go up and say something?
No, you were fine. We know that there are swimming pools in the area. The report of the minutes from the February 12th, 26th meeting have been printed, posted, and circulated. Are there any corrections or additions to those minutes? None. Then the minutes will stand as posted. We have no unfinished business, so we'll get into the new business that we have tonight. This evening's special council meeting is focused on outside agencies. And we have those agencies that we have historically supported with the addition of some new that have come. And tonight will be an evening that we will hear from you about what you're doing and what the support from the city of Vienna means. So with no other business to address, let us go ahead and begin. And the first item on the agenda in presentation is the Greater Parkersburg Convention and Visitors Bureau. And if you would, each please make sure that you speak into the microphone.
All right. Good?
We're good.
Good job.
All right.
We know you're better.
Thank you for the opportunity to speak this evening about the efforts of the Convention and Visitors Bureau. Just a quick reminder, we are a destination marketing organization financed primarily through lodging tax, and we receive 50% of the lodging tax remitted to the city of Vienna. Our mission is to contribute to the economy of the area by bringing tourists and tourism dollars. We attract those tourists through a comprehensive marketing program that includes print, broadcast, social, and digital media. In 2025, we spent over $250,000 on direct advertising and marketing. Though the majority of our revenue comes from lodging tax, we're also a partner-based organization, and our partners include attractions, hotels, restaurants, unique shops, and fairs and festivals. Our Vienna partners include Grand Central Mall, Hall's Chocolate, Scott's Marketplace, Grand Point, Oasis Salt Cave, and the Friends of Vienna. We've been impressed with the success that the Friends of Vienna have had in creating new and exciting events with unique entertainment and a family-friendly focus. Those events are bringing in new visitors from a wide area. They are really knocking it out of the park. We partnered with them this year to capture drone footage of Glow on the O, and we're able to put together a spectacular video of that event. And what a great night that was. And Freedom Festival, Friends of Vienna is doing a great job. We're happy to partner with them. One of the main resources that we use in our marketing efforts is our Visitor's Guide. The 2026 version has just come out. We've provided you with copies there. Those are distributed at over 50 area locations and at all of the state welcome centers on the interstates. Another way that we impact tourism spending is through the personal interaction with visitors at our welcome center. We continue to set records regarding visitors to the new center. And I've told you before, the old place on the corner of 7th and Avery is a great little building, but it wasn't the right location. We used to see between 600 and 700 people a year. First year we were there, we saw over 6,000. Next year over 7, next year over 8, and this past year we saw over 9,000 people, walk-in visitors to our welcome center. And each one of those visitors represents an opportunity for us to give them personal recommendations about where to go, where to eat, what to see, and how to spend more money in our area. So we're very happy at our new location. We think it's a great thing for the community and for our area for tourism. It was a good year for tourism. Lodging tax revenue was up by about 6% last year, and we're optimistic that this coming year we'll see another increase. We value our partnership with the City of Vienna, the Friends of Vienna, and the unique shops and businesses located here. We look forward to working with you to attract even more visitors in 2026. Every year we host an annual meeting of our partners in February. This year's meeting is next Wednesday at Grand Point here in Vienna. The event runs from 5:30 to 7. I'd like to personally invite you all to attend. Traditionally, it's been held on Thursday night. We moved the meeting this year so that I could be here tonight and so that you all would have an opportunity to come to our annual meeting for a change. So I hope you can make it. Please let Autumn Henthorn know. Autumn is here with me from the Visitors Center. So we hope to see you there. And I'd be happy to entertain any questions.
Smells like a new car.
It's got that brand new Visitor's Guide smell.
Nice, nice.
All right. Thank you very much, folks. Have a great evening.
Next, we have the art of the MOV.
Hello, I'm Doug Hess. I'm the Chief Operating Manager with the Art of the Mid-Ohio Valley. I have a little video that I want to show you. We are a chapter of the Arc of the United States, and some chapters do direct service to support people living in their homes. Our chapter is advocacy only, and some of you are new. I know some of you. I know Councilman Ditzler and Councilman Leach, and appreciate both of you, but I don't know very well the rest. Of course, I know the mayor. We were up here for our summer day program. But rather than try and give you an explanation, I have a very short video that should explain what we do. All right, let's get it to roll. Connecting to the HDMI. There we go.
Our journey begins with our youngest members. The West Virginia Birth to 3 program serves infants and toddlers under 3 years old who have developmental delays or are at risk for delays. We provide these crucial early intervention services at no cost to families, giving these little ones the support they need to thrive.
We spread holiday cheer through our Secret Christmas project, ensuring that adults and teens 13 and older with intellectual and developmental disabilities, with financial hardships and limited support systems, get to experience the joy of Christmas. Our dedicated volunteers shop for gifts, they create hygiene packs, and they wrap presents for over 225 individuals in our community. Our health and wellness program promotes a healthy lifestyle for all. Through adapted activities, instruction, we make health education accessible and engaging, focusing on things like nutrition, social emotional wellness, fitness, and preventative care.
We believe in empowering individuals to speak up for themselves. Our People First Self-Advocacy Group provides a platform for people with disabilities to learn essential advocacy skills, connect with peers, and create a positive change in their lives and communities. We also host the People First of West Virginia Conference, bringing together self-advocates from across the state to share knowledge, build confidence, and make their voices heard. Our Inclusive Summer Day program is a highlight of the year for students in grades 6 through 12 who utilize special education services. It's packed with exciting activities like swimming, bowling, arts and crafts, learning new skills, and taking field trips. Most importantly, it provides a space for these young people to build friendships, have fun, and experience inclusion alongside other kids their age. We believe that everyone deserves to have a summer filled with fun.
We empower adults with disabilities to live more independently through our Adult Living Skills Training Program. From relationship building and technology, including digital literacy through a grant with AT&T, to money management, we cover the skills needed to navigate everyday life with confidence.
Our ARC through Shop on Dudley Avenue in Parkersburg does more than offer great deals. It supports our programs and serves as a vital training ground to help students and adults with disabilities gain valuable work experience, develop essential job skills, and build confidence.
We believe that art has the power to transform lives. Our Arts for the Underserved initiative provides individuals with disabilities access to creative expression and social connection, enhancing their overall well-being. Speaking of the arts, the Della Lyons Artistic Opportunity Center showcases and sells the beautiful artwork created by individuals with disabilities in the community, giving them a platform to share their gifts with the community and an opportunity to earn 100% of the proceeds.
One of the things that I think is important to mention is that as a nonprofit, we rely on grants, donations, and volunteers. We want to take the time to thank all of those major funders as well as the people who donate their money, time, talents, and even facilities that help us provide our many programs. Without everyone working together, we would not be able to serve the people in our community with developmental differences, and we thank them very much.
So that's kind of what we do in a nutshell. And one of those partners was the city of Vienna. A couple of years ago, we came and asked for some support. We raised over $50,000 to buy a new van, and we came to the city because we needed maintenance fees and extra things to keep on hand. And that worked out really well because we found out that the dealership we bought it from and the people that had sold it, that it was new to us, didn't put the right tires on it. So $600 later, we were able to put the right tires on it to transport the folks that we serve. And so kind of by the numbers to support these programs, we served over 1,500 people with Summer Day. 3 of those came from the city of Vienna. And that's not a program we get a lot of funding for. We get some support from the Henry Logan Foundation, but we ask some of the folks, the parents, if they can, to provide some funding, and if not, then we just kind of make up that difference. We don't turn people away. And then 4 of the folks from Vienna received our Secret Christmas, and we're always looking for more. So we're not trying to limit it just to those 4. That's just the people that signed up. And then you can see, like right now, we have had 850 people at our dances. Actually, when I'm finished with this, I'm going to go to one of our dances. This is some of our West Virginia Birth to 3. Where we received over 936 referrals, and people refer to us, and then we figure out if they are not meeting their milestones of walking, speaking, talking, of the different activities you should be doing by age 3, and then if not, we hook them up with service providers doing speech therapy, physical therapy, and things like that. And so 404 families are getting that ongoing support. People First, this is our self-advocacy across the state. This is our thrift shop. Unfortunately, due to some competition over the years, when we first started the thrift shop, it was actually given to us a couple of decades ago. We made good revenue to support our programs. Competition, we had to close our South Side store, but we do still have South students and PHS students come in there. Here's some advocacy in action of what we do. We supported Karen Corrigan, she's the lady standing, and then her sister, Amy, they like to go shopping. Well, she kind of feels like a train engineer pulling through, so they talked to Sam's Club and to Aldi's to get Caroline carts. So now her sister can go around the store. So that's some good advocacy in action. And then to give you a little preview of what our folks actually do once we sign people up with the practitioners, Amy is the physical therapist, and this is little Pierce Cornell, who's 2 years, 3 months old. He wasn't meeting his milestones, wasn't able to stand on his own, and so she's working with him. By the time he gets to be 3 years old, he will be at the same level as others. A little worn out there. So we're here to just ask for another $1,000, which was what we asked for before, just to support our programs. One of our big concerns is that with the big beautiful bill last year, Congress voted and approved to cut Medicaid funding. And so while Birth to 3 is funded by the state, it's a pass-through from Medicaid. And lots of our folks get to live at home instead of in a nursing home or a facility like the old Colin Anderson that was closed in the 80s because of Medicaid funding through what's called the Title 19 waiver. And they're going to cut some of that money, which means the state's going to have to make it up. And when you put that in with it, if the governor gets his 10% tax cut in, that's going to cut funding for our People First and some of our programs. So we're just here, like I say, in years past, the money has gone either to our van or summer day, which we appreciate the mayor inviting us up, so the kids got to come during summer day and come in this room and go to the police and fire station. And we went to the Jackson Pool, which they loved. But so that's where I'm just here today to see if you would put us down for another $1,000 this year, just to support our general programs. I've got about 30 seconds left. I'm trying to keep that 10 minutes. Any questions? Thank you very much for the opportunity. Appreciate you allowing me to come up.
Next, we have Friends of Vienna.
Good evening, Jack Mathers with the Friends of Vienna. I'd like to start off with saying thanks to Mark Lewis for the nice comments he made. I'll have a payment for you here later on. That was nice. But anyway, I serve on the board with CVB with Mark's the leader there, and really appreciate his solid leadership there. So thanks. Anyway, Friends of Vienna, what we're here for tonight is to ask for the same amount that we've asked for in previous years. We're going to be put on the Freedom Festival again, and we're going to be put on the Glow on the O again. I can't really tell you at this point what we're having at the Freedom Festival and the Glow. It is larger this year, the Freedom Festival is. It's 3 days, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. We've got a very exciting event planned for Thursday evening that the area's never seen before. So it's one of the things that we really try to do, and we're really hearing from the people that are our sponsors. You know, you guys bring quality stuff into the area here. We were walking through the Glow on the O last year, and I heard people saying, you know, we can't believe this, Vienna, West Virginia. We can't believe that we're getting this stuff in our community. And I think just on what we're providing and what it's bringing into the people that attend the festival, that enjoy it, there's a lot of money that we're bringing into this area from people that are attending. You know, one of the fellows that work here at the City of Vienna was talking about trout fishing over on the, I think it was Williams River, and he said, you know, Jack, he said, I hate to tell you, but he said, I ran into 2 different groups over there. And he said, talking to those groups, I asked, where are you from? And he said, Vienna. And they said, we know that town. We've been coming to a festival you have over there. So the news of the festival is getting around. Last year, it was a rough week for the Freedom Festival. I mean, it was 100 degrees all week, 103 on Thursday down there. But last year, we had 11 states that reached out to us, people from 11 states that were coming to the Freedom Festival to see Home Free. We're going to have people traveling again this year and coming here. The hotel's full, always down here. And, you know, it's a great festival, a great event. We couldn't do it without you all. Couldn't do it without the City of Vienna. I mean, it's fun working with the groups. We work, you know, the police department's great to work with down there. It's just, what can we do? We need this in the area. What can we do? How can we help you? Public Works, you know, can't mention everything that happens there. And your all's support. You know, it's fun. It's a 5th year. And 5th year we've done this. We kicked around the idea of adding a 3rd event. It's a little bit off the table right now, but then another event has popped up, and that's a great thing about the board that I serve on. There's 24 people on our board. And you know, we let people expand their imagination at our board meetings. And we try to bring it out of them. What would you like to see? What do you want? What, you know, we've got a tremendous board. And I'm really thrilled to be part of the board. I'm tickled to death of what we bring to this town. I'm tickled to death of the dedication of the people, and I thank you all for your support. So that's all I've got to say. If you got any questions for me? We'll be back in March. I'll be bringing some of my board back in March, and we'll present everything to you. But you're going to be surprised. I guarantee you. So anyway, that's what I've got. So thank you.
Any questions this evening for Jack?
All right, thank you.
Up next, we have Kids First program and Family Crisis Intervention Center.
Good evening, my name is Natalie Atkinson and I'm the director of the Kids First program. The Kids First program is under the direction of the Family Crisis Intervention Center, a local domestic violence and rape crisis center. Kids First program is located on Market Street and is a free licensed part-time program that allows children to have access to both of their parents without parents having access to each other. Our program provides the children and parents with a neutral, stress-free, child-focused environment, not exposing the children or the public to the hostility or anger that may occur between parents during visitation and exchanges when done on their end. We provide 2 services out of our program, visitation and exchanges. During visitation, the visiting parent and child stay at our program for the duration of the visit, and staff monitors all interactions between them. During exchanges, one parent brings the child and the other parent comes 15 minutes later to pick up that child. That parent takes them for the evening, the weekend, or the week, depending on what the court orders. We do require a court order for our families to use our program. We make it a positive environment. It's really a joy to be at our program. While children wait for their parents, we have crafts for them to do. We chat, play games, or whatever they feel comfortable doing while they wait. The kids love coming to the program, not just to see their parents, but also to see us. Often, we can't get them out the door in the evening. The kids enjoy getting to relax, unwind, do activities, and getting to play while they're at the program. We carry out these services with only 2 paid staff, myself and our nighttime advocate, Miranda, an off-duty Parkersburg police officer, and a few volunteers. We provide these services 3 nights a week on Wednesdays, Fridays, and Sundays. Last year, we provided 656 child visits and exchanges. We do not charge anything for our services. We receive funding through the Supreme Court of Appeals, DHHR, private donations, and then you all. There are many reasons why parents are court ordered to use our services, such as going through divorce, having child custody disputes, open allegations of child abuse or neglect, the non-custodial parent having little to no contact with the child having separation issues, and the parent having drug or alcohol problems or a family history of violence. I believe that we make a difference in these children's lives and some of the parents' lives as well. We try to instill in the parents to think of the kids first before they use them as a tug-of-war rope or as the messenger. We have been in the community for over 25 years and want to continue providing these critical services to our community, and with your help, we can. Does anyone have any questions? Thank you.
Thank you for sharing. Wood County Senior Citizen Center.
Good evening, and thank you for having us here this evening. I have provided you with our PowerPoint and all the information and the business aspects of our organization, and I've invited Paul to kind of talk about our heart and soul. You can read that on your own. I have provided some information about our Vienna-specific services so that you can see where your community falls within our structure throughout Wood County. But to just revisit, our mission is primarily, as the Older Americans Act provider, is to serve the neediest of our elderly population by decreasing food insecurity and hunger, encouraging socialization, and promoting health and well-being. So that is our entire mission, and we do that through a number of different services that you can see within there. But primarily, we're known for our nutrition program, or more familiarly known as Meals on Wheels. We also provide transportation services for seniors going to doctor's appointments, shopping, et cetera, and then we also have in-home services, and that is where we have staff who go in and help the seniors stay independent in their home through life skills and basic just assistance in the home so that they're able to stay there and stay independent. As I spoke about Meals on Wheels, we have really seen, as again, most everyone has, an increased need as our population is getting older and they're working longer, but we have still had this large group of people who are independent, still in their homes. And so our Meals on Wheels program provides one daily meal every day of the week. So to get into the little bit more specific of how we're serving the city of Vienna, I provided, it's actually page 7 of your handout if you'd like to take a look. And basically what you'll see is that we are serving, or the city of Vienna is about 15% of our entire budgeted costs in Wood County. So again, as a kind of epicenter, Parkersburg, of course, is the primary because of the location and the accessibility of our seniors coming to the center there on Green Street. And then the rest are really just the randomness of out in the county. So I did want to share with that because these are very specific to Vienna, and so you can see who we're actually serving. We have seen an increase in meals, so we're providing about 10,000 meals to residents here in Vienna, and also providing a number of hours and trips as well, as you'll see there. So just to see where y'all fall in there and how we're trying to serve your community in the best way that we can through our services. So I'm going to stop talking about the business piece of it. I really want you to hear from Paul is one of our volunteers. He's also going to become a future board member, and he's been with us. I'll let him tell his story, but he volunteered to come tonight because what he is doing for us has really fed some passion within him, and I'll introduce Paul.
I probably better writing this down and everything, but yeah, I deliver meals. I pick them up at Green Street at the kitchen there, and I come out to Pleasant View Towers and Hillview Terrace. And I'll tell you, when I go to Pleasant View Towers, people are in that lobby waiting for me. They're so excited. They're in wheelchairs, they're walkers, and they just give you the biggest smile. I mean, I really get more out of it. I'm sure they get a lot out of it, but to feel, and they help me. They bring a cart out. I put the food on the cart. We go to the community room where I distribute the food. And there's this one lady, she always gets in line. She's like 85 years old, weighs 90 pounds, 4'9". I give her a meal and her milk, and she gives me the biggest smile and thank you. I just want to hug that woman. It's just amazing. And we not only give them food, we talk to them. I like to listen to the problems they're having a little bit. And it's just really rewarding. And they really want this service, I can tell. Because there's people that'll come and say, can you bring me a meal? And there's only a certain amount we can deliver. And then up at Hillview, we go door to door, the apartments there. So I'm seeing people coming out, wheelchairs, walkers. Some of them I go into the apartment because they can't come to the door. And again, they're so happy, the smiles, and they want to tell me their story. And I said, well, you know, I could talk to you forever, but I got to move on to the next floor. But those people really need it. Some of those people I don't think get out. They might go to a doctor's office, especially at Hillview Terrace. But so they need that interaction besides the meal. And some of the people tell me they'll eat some of the meal one day and then they'll save it for the next day, or they'll eat it at night. I usually deliver at lunch. So they're happy to get 2 meals taken care of. And then when I go back to the senior center, there's a line there, people get meals to take out or eat. And the staff there is very friendly to them, and it's only a small part. What I do, I mean, we go all over the county. We're going to Belleville, Rockport, Williamstown, and bringing meals to these people, and a smile. That's what I like to say. Just kindness, and we appreciate them as much as they appreciate us. And I enjoy it, you know. I'd like to go see some of the people now, but they're probably asleep waiting. You know. Anyway, thank you.
Do you have any questions for Paula or I about the senior center?
Paul, what's your last name?
LaPann. LAPANN.
All right, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Any questions?
Thank you for your money.
He likes that. Thank you so much.
Can we get the city building to be one of the daily stops?
Would you like that? I would love that. I would love that very, very much, and I can make that happen if you give me a call.
Oh gosh, we don't need any.
I'm not a senior yet, but you know.
Yeah?
And the food's good.
The food's good.
It's
Thank you guys very
nutritious.
much.
We get vegetables, we get fruit. You know, it's not junk food. So, yeah.
Good deal.
Yeah.
Thank you guys very much.
Thank you so much.
We do not have anybody from the Humane Society this evening, correct? North Star Child Advocacy.
I'll give you all a packet, and it's got some good information in it so we can keep my time as minimal as possible. But I want to thank you for allowing me to be here tonight to request financial support, to tell you a little bit about the physically, sexually abused, and severely neglected children we interview and advocate for on behalf of law enforcement and prosecutors and Child Protective Services. I want to first say I'm always humbled to be in a room with a bunch of people that's trying to make this valley better, and I appreciate what you all are doing. I'd like to read from you some quotes. I always do it. Some of you have heard me before, but I keep 20 quotes on hand, and they're from kids in our interview room. So these aren't from another state. These are our kids, and these are things that they have actually said during interviews. And it gives the most bang for the buck as far as impact on what we're doing. I'd wear tiny shorts and nightgowns, not really much to cover my body because I'm a very sweaty girl. It's kind of my fault because I wouldn't really be wearing anything. When he comes upstairs, I'm hoping he's not going to do it again. What if I didn't do the right thing by telling? What if I was being a brat and they think it was right he punished me? What if he lies his way out of this? What if they don't love me anymore? Mom was perfect before she started using drugs, but now she's the devil. I don't want to die. I don't want to die, but I also don't want to live like this. Anytime we would have sex, he would put a pillow over my face, and I couldn't breathe. You could see it in his eyes, the hate, like he could kill someone. When he tried to do it again and I told him no, he told me, quote, "Your sister was better anyway." Dad told Mom to tie my hands behind my back. I was bruised and really sore after. Mom pushed me down into a chair and made me sit down and use a gun lock to keep me there. He would talk to me, but he would get really close. That's how I knew it was about ready to happen. It's always been like a stabbing, like my body didn't want to accept it. My sister calls him Dad, but no joke, this is like the 14th man she has called Dad since she's been able to say a word. Usually people cry from being away from their mother, but for me it's a present. Foster home is better. I don't get treated like a dog. I get treated right. It's heaven. I have school, so they won't leave bruises on my face. So they leave them on my body. Dad would hit my twin sisters with a belt, but they were too young to be hit. They're only 6 years old. I can take it. I could even take more, but they are just too little to be hit. We would be in the car, and he would touch the top of my vagina and tell me, "That's the thing the guys would love about me the most." It made me feel helpless, It feels like every time I talk about it, I'm reliving it again. I just wanted to see someone realize that something was wrong. I was telling the truth. After that happened, he would make me pray with him. I felt guilty, disgusted, and disappointed with myself. A Child Advocacy Center, which is a CAC, provides a safe, child-friendly facility where CPS, criminal justice, and child treatment professionals work together to investigate abuse, hold offenders accountable, and help children heal. The only children North Star interview are referrals from CPS, judges, prosecutors, or law enforcement, and are in the advanced investigative stage. Most do not realize we are not a walk-in facility. West Virginia has 21 centers like North Star. During the 25 fiscal year, West Virginia CAC served 4,734 kids. 1 in 10 West Virginia children will experience sexual abuse before they are at the age of 18. North Star is the largest CAC in West Virginia, serving Wood, Wirt, Ritchie, Pleasants, and Calhoun counties. North Star saw over 600 children each calendar year between 2020 and 2023. In 2025 calendar year, we saw 558 children. If you see the difference in numbers in your package, just note that the West Virginia Child Advocacy Network's numbers are fiscal year, and I'll give you the calendar year statistics. Currently, there are 9 CACs in West Virginia that are partially funded by county commissions. North Star is not one of them. 4 CACs in West Virginia are funded by municipalities. North Star has proudly been one of them, thanks to the City of Vienna. Our staff consists of 5 forensic interviews, also cross-trained as family advocates, and 2.5 administrative staff taking care of the work of the center. Projected VOCA federal grant cut in October 2025 was initially projected to be 74%. VOCA is the Victim of Crime Act that is not taxpayer funded, but is rather funded by criminal fines. The state of West Virginia has stepped in since the VOCA issues began in 2021, bringing us up to level funding each year. Last year, the state of West Virginia put our network in the budget for the very first time ever. We have been unable to grow with federal or state money over this time as it was frozen at the 2020 rate. Federal money is 32% of our budget. Any expansion in services North Star has had over the last 5 years has been because of local foundations, donations, fundraisers, and money provided by the City of Vienna. State grants account for 19% of North Star's budget and are also never a sure thing. We have worked hard over the past 5 years to bring in our own money, with 21% of our budget now funded by donations and statewide training we provide for others. United Way is covering our entire medical program, which provides sexual assault examinations for children, one of only a few CACs in the state doing this on site. In the calendar year 2025, 70% of the children we saw from our 5-county area were kids from Wood County. 41% were from Parkersburg, 52% were from areas outside any city limit in Wood County, 6% were from Vienna, for a total of 24 children. The National Children's Advocacy Center in Huntsville, Alabama stated back in 2006 that a CAC investigation cost approximately $2,902 each. If all Wood, Wirt, Pleasants, Ritchie, and Calhoun County governments would provide us with some funding for each child interviewed, we would ensure as a community that North Star will be here forever, despite any upsets with the state and federal grants. These are our kids, not the state or federal government's kids. I believe that the City of Vienna has set the bar for the rest of Wood County and other counties we serve. In closing, this is not merely a feel-good nonprofit. It's quite the opposite, really. It's a necessity. We work as a team with law enforcement and CPS to give these kids a chance to get fixed so they can be a productive part of our community, rather than next generation's problems we have to continue to pay for while trying to fix them. These children did not choose for their lives to go like this. And I'll say that again because it's very important. These children did not choose for their lives to go like this. My goal is to make sure North Star is here and functioning for our children, helping our law enforcement and CPS workers for the next 100 years by finding this type of sustainable funding. Sustainable funding is what is going to allow us to be here. Tonight, I would humbly and respectfully ask to remain in your next budget in the amount of $15,000. If the $15,000 is too much, any amount you deem appropriate will be deeply appreciated. Questions?
I have a question.
Yes, sir.
You stated, if I understood you correctly, that the city of Deanna is the only municipality that gave. Are there any counties that give?
No, sir.
Have you visited them?
Yes.
Just curious. And they say no.
They don't actually say no. I just never hear back from them.
Well, that's no.
Yeah.
So, and they expect you to take care of their children.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Actually, the reason I know the percentages of areas within Wood County, when I presented to the Wood County Commission, the question was levied to me by a commissioner, and he said, during the presentation, what percentage of the kids are you seeing that are Wood County children? Didn't make any difference to me at the time. They were children that needed seeing. So I had to implement a system, another system within our numbers that would give you the exact percentage for the next presentation, which is going to be shortly, I hope. And as you can see in your packets, those percentages are broken down because of that question. And this year, Parkersburg was higher in 24. But this year, Wood County, we saw 198 kids from Wood County and 156 from Parkersburg. So that's why that chart's in there now, because as you know, there is always we don't want to take care of somebody else's children effect that I face from time to time, and that's why that number was needed, so I could put a percentage on it. But what we do is not a percentage thing.
And you visit these areas every year?
Yes, sir.
So 198 from Wood County and 156 from Parkersburg means actually 352 from Wood County.
Well, we have
The ones
Vienna.
in Parkersburg are in Wood County.
Yeah, we have Vienna at 24 and Williamstown at 5.
I mean, the commission needs to understand
Oh, yes, sir.
Parkersburg is in Wood County.
Yeah, I'm sorry, sir. Yes, it was readily apparent to me, but apparently that didn't resonate somewhere. These are our kids, and these are the kids that are in our school hallways. We pass them in Walmart. They're just everywhere, and you wouldn't know a lot of them, but it's pretty evil. I can tell you, it's really evil at times.
Well, we definitely appreciate everything that you do within our community. You know that it takes really special people to deal with the horrors that individuals can inflict. And we appreciate it.
Thank you, sir.
And we look forward to coming back and doing another site visit again.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Any other questions?
Thank you.
Next up, we have Artsbridge.
Hello, I'm Lindsay Dennis, Executive Director of Artsbridge. I appreciate always being invited and included into your budget process. Artsbridge is celebrating 40 years this year. We were incorporated, or Artsbridge became Artsbridge in 1986, and so we have a whole plan of fun things to spend celebrating the year and celebrate turning 40. I am not yet 40, but it is a fun celebration for the organization.
You can sit down now.
We reach.
Somebody draw a line through that request.
I just wanted to make that, fair.
You.
We reach over 25,000 individuals each year, and we run with a staff of 4. So we rely heavily on the gals in the office and our volunteers and our board of directors and we serve 6 counties in those 25,000 people. So ArtsBridge is kind of multifaceted. We focus in 3 areas: arts education, community outreach, and fundraising. Everybody in this room through nonprofit work knows how important fundraising is. Grants and foundations make up about 53% of the income of our budget, and the rest of that is made up. To bridge that gap, we look for donations and sponsorships. And the city of Vienna is one of 2 cities that supports ArtsBridge and has for many years. And it's that sustainable funding that helps us get through when we face state funding cuts like we did this year. So we're fortunate that we have a multi-stream of income that we're able to reallocate some funds and move some things around. We've made really good partnerships in the communities to help make up the difference. And like I said, the city of Vienna is one of those consistent funding streams that we receive, and we are so grateful for, that allows us to do everything that we're able to do. So part of what we do are 14 programs year-round, and I want to highlight 2 of those because one is getting ready to wrap up. We're doing our Music in the Mall series, and so we have one more performance. Thanks to the snow, we had to tack on some extra dates. So we will be there this Sunday from 2 to 3 with Belpre High School Band, and from 3:30 to 4:30 with the Wood County Christians Choir. So if you have a Sunday afternoon available and would like to come hang out with us and listen to some great young talent, we will be there. That is our last date. And then we are getting ready to set up our mall art displays. And so we run that from this coming Monday until May 1st. Every 2 weeks, we rotate out a new school set of art, and they actually gave us a storefront this year at the mall. So we will have the whole corner of where I think it was called Trade Shows. It's a store that just went out, but it's across from Lids. So when you're visiting the mall and doing your shopping, you'll be able to check out some local school art from these young artists in our area. We're so fortunate to have the arts in our area that we do. There's so much talent here. We also run our online calendar, and I never like to hear somebody say that there's nothing to do in this area, because we are rich with activities in this area. And so we run that online calendar, and we go on Daybreak every week and talk about what's coming up, and we highlight all of our cities and areas, events and activities, arts and non, to try to get people to come together and collaborate and do all the fun things that we offer in this area. So I will take any questions now if you have them. And again, I just want to express our thanks for your support. It's been unwavering for many years. Yes, sir.
You said 6 counties. What are the 6 counties outside of Wood?
We have Wood and Washington. Those are our 2 biggest counties. And then we have Ritchie, Pleasance, Jackson. I'd have to look at my diagram. I want to say Tyler.
So Vienna's one of the 2. Who's the other one?
What do you mean?
City-wise that contributes.
Parkersburg. So of all those other cities, you guys have been a great support and consistent in that support.
Any other questions? Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
The Boys and Girls Club of Parkersburg.
I'm over the 40, so when I get up, my back, does a thing.
I wake up in the morning and wonder if somebody beat me as I slept.
Yeah.
The wonderful process of being.
It kicked in about age 50, so.
I like to sympathize with you kids.
Well, good
You
evening.
young people don't know what pain is, I'll tell you that.
Well, I'm glad there's more to come. Thank you. Good evening, council members. I'm Darlene Murphy. I'm the new CEO at the Boys and Girls Club of Parkersburg, and we're a nonprofit serving youth. Our mission is to enable all young people, especially those who need us most, to reach their full potential as productive, caring, and responsible adults. They changed their mission to the kids that need us the most, because it used to be like people would think of it as like juvenile delinquents that need to go to the club, but we're there for anyone who needs to go to the club. So if kids need just a place to go with their parents' work, if they need academic support, if they just need a caring adult, if they need a meal. So we're really there for any kids who want to go to the club. And we're funded through grants, individual and corporate donors, some rentals that when we rent out the building, foundations, and some other government entities. The city of Vienna has sponsored some of our transportation this year to get our Vienna kids to our main clubhouse, and the city of Parkersburg has sponsored us as well. And yeah, so we get some city money as well. We also do some advocacy at the city, county, state, and national level. I just spent the day Monday with our delegates and senators, with some of our kids from the club, just letting them know how important the work that we do at the Boys and Girls Club. A lot of our surrounding states have alliances, bless you, that fund their Boys and Girls Clubs in their states. We are one of the states where we get no funding from the state to run, so we're always just out asking for money to take care of our kids. And one thing I wanted to know, I'm also a counselor, and while Greg was speaking about the work he does, it brought to mind during my child therapy classes about how one of the main, one of the biggest factors in changing the trajectory of a child's life is a consistent, caring adult. And so that is what we do at the Boys and Girls Club. We have adults, and a lot of our staff have been there over a year, which is really unheard of when you're talking about out of school time. So we do try to create an environment that our adults like to be there because we want to have consistent, caring adults for our kids. And then we're also open during hours when abuse and juvenile delinquency take place, which is usually between the hours of 3 to 7. We're open until 7:30. We did that so that we could also serve our like shift workers, people that work at the hospital and the plans and work 7 to 7. So we extended our hours last year until 7:30. And then we're open most non-school days, so kids have a safe place to go. They can get a meal there. And it's really a minimal cost to our family. So we charge $30 a year for our elementary school kids, and we are going to charge $30 for the whole summer. And our teens attend for free because we really want our teens to have somewhere to go without worrying about paying a cost. And I've been there since 2023. I was the director before I became the CEO. And when I first started, we saw about 14 teens a day, and we're seeing about 40 teens a day now. And when I started, we also saw about 86 kids a day. We're seeing about 227 kids a day. So our growth in just 2 years has been amazing, but it's one of those things where we're not a business, so we don't, you know, I wish I could get a bonus for the number of kids I've increased, but really all that means is we need more money to take care of all of the kids. So it's a good problem to have. Overall, we've grown from 400 members in 2023 to 811 members in 2025, and we still continue to grow. What's been really exciting is through a 21st Century Learning Grant, we were able to open a school-based site to serve the families of Vienna in Vienna rather than busing them to the Mary Street location. And so we opened that site with about 10 kids at the beginning of the school year, October when we opened. And we're already up to 45 kids at that location. So we're excited about the growth in Vienna. So Mayor Emmerich and I have had a lot of conversations about how we can continue to serve the kids in Vienna, the families in Vienna. And some of the outcomes that come from kids attending our program, I've already mentioned they get a safe, positive environment. And I included in your packets our NYOI outcomes, which is our National Youth Outcomes Initiative survey that we give every year, and we're compared against national and our previous years. And you can see that we're typically above the national average for safe and positive environment, fun and belonging, feeling like they can make a difference in their community. And part of the reason I was in Charleston Monday and Tuesday, we did the advocacy day, but then we also had the Youth of the Year competition where youngsters from our club competed in the state to be named the Youth of the Year, which is like the premier recognition program for the club. They get scholarship money. Ours didn't win the state competition, but he did get a laptop. And the crazy thing about it is he'd been working on his speech, and he just kept saying, I wish I had a laptop. It would make it a lot easier, without knowing he would be getting a laptop. And that kid was amazing. He's 14. He comes from a home where mom was addicted to drugs when he was born. And just the night before our local Youth of the Year competition, his caseworker forgot to pick him up. So he was out in the cold for 2 hours, and he walked to the Boys and Girls Club because he knew he'd be warm there. So that's kind of what we do. And that's, I could tell probably 100 of those stories. We also serve meals. We usually partner with Wood County Schools for that, but on days that they don't provide meals, that does just come out of our budget. We do a breakfast, lunch, and a snack every day. So the reason I'm here tonight, I hope I still have time. I'm good, right? Okay, so.
There's no buzzer.
Okay. Whew. All right, so I've been working closely with Mayor Emmerich to design what a summer program could look like in Vienna. And so we kind of landed on a recreation program that would be based here in the city of Vienna. And so that parents who don't necessarily need childcare, but really just want to have a recreation program for their kids, would have a program that's well known, well trusted, well established, to be here in the city of Vienna. So what that would look like is 9 to 2 here at in the city of Vienna. Likely Jackson Park is what we're kind of working on. And so parents would drop their kids off at 9. We would do programming with them. We usually throw a field trip in there once a week. We try to, as long as we can find the funding. We provide meals. We provide the national evidence-based programming from the Boys and Girls Clubs of America. And just another shout out for clubs, when I was taking my trauma class, my trauma textbook actually stated that out of school time and rec programs don't usually make a big difference on juvenile delinquency, except for programs like the National Boys and Girls Club because of our evidence-based program. So I was like, oh, that's in my textbook. That's amazing. So those are the kind of programs we would be running in our summer program. For our summer, our theme is Blockbuster Summer. So each week the staff has kind of picked a kids movie, and they'll be planning fun activities for the kids to do based along different characters, themes, whatever of some well-known kids movies. And so I just wanted to end by thanking you all for hearing us tonight, inviting you to come check out our site at Vienna Elementary. Miss Crystal's here. She's our director there. She does a phenomenal job. We have a Facebook page if you want to see the kind of things that she's doing. Or you can come to our Mary Street location. And our ask might be the biggest one of the night, but it takes a lot to run these programs. So I'm asking for $40,000 over a 10-week program. If we saw 40 kids a day, that's about $100 a kid a week. So that's less than what anyone would pay at a summer program. I know when I had my own summer program, we charged about $130 a week. And then in other places, you'll pay upwards to $200 for a specialized program like that that's in the city that you're in. So what questions do you have for me?
So before there's any questions,
yes.
I want to kind of expand on your presentation because you're here and part of our conversation. Part of the responsibility I have, or a big responsibility I have within the city, is to listen to the wants, needs, and desires of our constituents, but also to listen to the direction that I get from other council members. Jim has been a huge advocate for children's and youth programming, and as well as Tony and Tammy have been huge advocates for drug intervention and prevention. In pulling all of these things together, that's what started the conversation with how do we reach and how do we provide these. In our last conversation, we have a target number of, I asked for 50 that we would hit. That program would run Monday through Friday, 9 to 2, and in conversations with Chuck Knopfsinger and we were looking for locations, that this would be based out of the rec center, simply because there's no activities that go on during those time frames, and had a huge level of excitement about that. We do a lot of services for other age brackets in our community, but we don't really do anything strong for our youth. Again, as Jim has been a huge advocate for that as well. So I'm excited about this potential program, and that we'll be able to be provided for the youth of Vienna, and to be able to provide such services. So
I did want to add one piece I forgot about that we had talked about. For those parents who do work and need care beyond 2 p.m., we would bus those kids to the Mary Street location so that the parents that live in Vienna could drop off at either location. But if they just, wanted rec or one of their kids to stay here in Vienna, you would have that site here, but we can also bus them to our Mary Street location. Any questions for me?
I have a conflict of interest. I was on the board from 1979 for about 10 years when Frank Siegel was the director. Were you born then?
I was born in 1974, and my brother actually attended the club, and when I give tours, I talk about how we didn't let girls in until 1996, and And I'm still pretty salty about it because my brother got to go swimming, shoot BB guns, bow and arrow. He said he got shot with his first arrow at the Boys and Girls Club. That's probably why we don't do that stuff anymore, but he had a great time there.
I'm just so glad that you're here in Vienna now too.
Yeah, we are too.
And they're running a very successful program out of the Vienna school after the school year, but that will stop once the school year stops, correct?
Yeah, so our grant only covers during the school year. And another piece with that is since we are funded through a grant, there is no charge for the Vienna families. And I think that's kind of what Mayor Emmerich and I had talked about, is just kind of keeping that going and letting those families still come. We can look at, do we need to charge a rate, whatever that looks like. But
And did you say the age bracket that we had discussed?
kindergarten through 5th grade.
Correct.
Mm-hmm. Any other questions?
Any other questions?
Okay, thank you all for listening, and hopefully you'll stop by and get a tour sometime. Thank you.
Mid-Ohio Valley Health Department, anyone here? Discover World, I don't see Wendy.
She had an accident.
Oh no. I'll reach out to her, is she okay?
Yeah, I believe so, but yeah.
We do have a representative from Latrobe Street.
Good evening. I'm the new person on the block, I believe. It looks like everyone else kind of already knows each other. My name is Michelle. I am the new executive director to the Latrobe Street Mission, which is now going to be called the Latrobe Mission. I'll give you a little bit of background. I have worked with homeless on a personal level for the last 25 years. Before Latrobe ever existed, I was taking moms and kids off the street, putting them in hotels and walking with them. Sometimes it would be for a 6-month period, sometimes up to 2 years. I would help the mom get into housing, I helped several get into colleges, help them get jobs and become successful in their lives. And they went on to do that and raise their kids well, and I still have contact with a lot of those. So anyway, I was about a year ago just minding my own business, and I got a phone call from a friend who asked me if I would come to Latrobe and part-time case manage. And I said, okay, sure, I'll come just help out a little bit for a little while. Well, that turned into 2 months ago, them asking me if I would step in as executive director. And so here I am. The Latrobe Mission, as it has been through a lot of things, as everyone knows, over the years, but as of now, we are trying to revamp the whole mission. And when I say revamp the mission, starting with it being a faith-based mission, that's what it was started out to be, and that is a ministry in itself. So we're changing the name to Latrobe Mission instead of Latrobe Street, because we don't want it to be a place, a location of Latrobe Street. We want it to be Latrobe Mission, and that is what we do as a homeless shelter. We believe that every individual is a child of God that deserves to be treated with love, dignity, respect, and compassion when they walk through the doors. One of the things that I have found is that there's a lot of stigma about homeless people, and that they're all here from other areas, they're drug addicts, we can't help them. There's a lot of things that are said about homeless people. But I can tell you at Latrobe Mission, that is not the case. About a quarter of the people that come in our doors, they're addicts. And if they are addicts and they are actively using, we will immediately get with them and to see if they want to go to recovery. If they don't want to go to recovery, there's not a whole lot we can do except for give them a warm bed, a hot meal, and give them a little bit of time to stay at the mission. If they do want to go to recovery, we immediately start calling resources in the area and get them into one of the local recoveries. The other 3/4 of the people that are homeless are either situational homeless, it's due to mental illness or developmentally delayed situations, they're elderly, or they're veterans. Examples. We've had several veterans that have come into the mission that were living in a shed in their brother's backyard. Brother got mad, said, I don't want you to live here anymore. They're homeless. There have been veterans that have mental illness that end up on the streets, in tents, under the bridges. The one thing great about veterans for us is if they come through our doors, there are many, many veteran services that quickly, as soon as, if I make that phone call, within 2 weeks, that veteran has housing, a case manager, and things that are for, that will help them to sustain their life and live a normal life. Mental health counselors get with them, everybody coordinates together. So veterans it's wonderful when they come through our doors because we know that we have the resources out there to help them and help them very quickly. A mom of 3 in an abusive situation, domestic violence, her and her husband, have a situation, she ends up coming to our shelter to escape that. We've had a mom of 3 this past year that got kicked out of her own mother's house. Grandma decided she didn't want the mom and kids living there anymore. We've had multiple, 12 to be exact, kids under the age of 21 who were kicked out of their homes. Most of them have autism or developmental delays to the point that there's no way that they could even live independently. We had a 18-year-old, for example, that had his capacity taken, and he was dropped off to us by Sharp Institute at our front doors, and he had a mentality of an 8-year-old. We have 77-year-old seniors that are one, for instance, that was dropped off at our door because she was evicted because she wasn't physically able to clean her apartment anymore. So those are most of the type of people that come into our mission and that we have to work with and to try to get them into housing again. So what do? When someone comes in the door, one of the first things we do is find out if they have a birth certificate or social security card. More than half of them do not. You can't do anything to move forward in life if you don't have an ID. So we start right there where they're at with trying to get them a birth certificate and social security card so that they could get an ID. Once they get an ID, or once we get through that process, then we sign them up for SNAP benefits, Medicaid, HUD, mental health services. We connect them with physicians if they need that. We also connect them with any kind of senior systems that they need, or if they have children, we will also connect them with the school system. The next thing we do is help them find employment or decide, are they a senior that isn't signed up for Social Security yet? We've had those situations. Do they need disability because they have no way of being able to work? And we will walk them through those processes. And as you know, disability is about a 1.5 year long process. And then lastly, we will try to get them into housing. Once we get them into housing, we then also will help them furnish their apartment and get them anything that they need, as far as dishes, washcloths, silverware. So that's our process. I'm going through it quickly, but it can take a long time sometimes. This past year, as a case manager, I was able to get 32 people into housing. Doesn't sound like a lot, but that was a very big success for the mission. I've heard the comments that I did more in the last year than had been done the entire time the mission's been open. That was a great compliment to hear. What do we have planned for 2026? Another thing that we've been doing since I have stepped into executive director is working with a program. There's one program called Mach 1. It's a program that works with disabled folks, and they need places to come and do training for the disabled younger adults that they have. And so one of the they called and asked, they said, would you be willing to let them come and do some training there, get some social skills in, see if there's anything that they could be capable of doing? I said, sure, let's give it a try. And so we now are on our 4th person, and we have had every individual come in there. It's been a successful program where they've went in our kitchen, they learned how to cook, they learned how to bake, or they did some organization, they did some cleaning, and those kind of things. And one of the girls who's there now still continuing her training has asked if we would allow her to do like 10 hours a week when she gets done with the training. And so we're trying to figure that into our budgeting and how we do that. But from that came, in my mind, that's where we're missing something here. Because at Latrobe, we don't want to just enable homelessness. Actually, we want no part of enabling homelessness. We want to fix the homelessness so that's no longer a problem for them. We want to give them all the tools that we can so that they can sustain on their own. And what has happened in the past, I feel like, in the homeless community is that it's all about like, let's get them an apartment, let's get them an apartment. But we get them in the apartment, and then we never give them the tools along the way to learn how to sustain that apartment. And so you will see people like end up homeless again. So this year, what we're doing is we're going to offer life skill classes at Latrobe Street Mission. And it's not just for our guests that stay at the mission. It will actually be open to the public or any other agency that needs to use those. But we are going to offer classes like budgeting, banking, cooking, cleaning, communication classes, emotional regulation classes, how to deal with stressful situations, socializing them, and how to talk to, on the phone to a banker, or how to talk to on the phone to make an appointment. There's a lot of these skills they don't have. They've never been taught. And so we feel like that's going to build their success in once they're housed and being able to operate in those functions that most of us take for granted, and that will help them to be able to be housed permanently and sustain that. So that's one of our biggest projects I'm super excited about. Also at Latrobe Mission, we are going to be getting kind of a revamp, not just of the program, but a revamp of the looks of the mission. We are getting the inside of our building painted. We're getting the outside of our building painted. We are also getting new signs put up. We are uniting with all kinds of other agencies to bring all the resources together, because we can't do this alone. We are a nonprofit, and we have lost $75,000 in funding this year from one of our grants. It was not reinstated. The grants are drying up. We do not get help from any other local agency except for Vienna. Just so you know that, because I've heard others. Parkersburg does not help us in any way. We have had the mayor of Parkersburg on site, and that resulted in nothing from that site visit. We feed over, another thing that we do for the community is we feed over 50,000 meals a year. Our dinner alone, we have 100 people show up for. And that's not the residents, that's people coming from the community. But we are open 7 days a week, 3 meals a day to anyone that wants to join, for dinner or any meal. We are getting a new roof put on this year over our kitchen and our day room. We are going to have an ADA ramp installed that goes straight into our day room, so that anyone that in the community that is in a wheelchair or needs that access will be able to get it. All of these things I've mentioned, some of them are 100% they're happening. The ADA ramp, we don't have that yet, but we are praying and knowing that it's going to come somehow to us. So that's 2026 what we have planned. 2027, we have new dorms that were built in 2025, and our old dorms are now being used as a warming station. But what our plans are for those is that we can take those old dorms and turn them into transitional living, which is another thing that is needed very much in our area. Housing is very difficult to find. And that will be turn into an income source that will pour back into the mission. So we're really hopeful that we can get the grant funding for that. Not asking that from you all, just letting you know what our plans are for the future. If we can come up with ways, we've found that if we can come up with ways that we can generate income, that's going to suit us better as we move into the future, from the way that it looks like grants are going to be more difficult to get. So, as far as the amount of money, I'm asking for $5,000, but anything that you all would like to help us with would be amazing. Any questions?
Yes.
Yeah, you said 5, but it says 2,500 on here. Is that a typo?
No, I just didn't get the request.
Yes.
Okay, that's number
and that
one.
was.
Okay, no problem.
We had a late phone call.
Yeah.
And then you stated in Parkersburg, does Wood County contribute any?
No, no, sir.
We need to have some serious meetings with our other cities.
No comment.
Eric? You've done a great job, the evolution of the Latrobe Street mission, the Latrobe mission, whatever. You're actually addressing the problem, which wasn't done before.
Yes.
And I don't want to challenge Vienna or anything, but the Ditzler Foundation gave $7,000 in December.
Yes, they did, and it was very, very much appreciated.
We got talked out of it by John 6.
Very much appreciated. But we truly are, we are a not-for-profit, and so we go by grants and donations, and I'm going to be actually hitting a lot of places starting next month. I just had to get some foundational things fixed.
It should fit within the definition of the opioid settlement funds. Not that I have anything to do with that.
I know. It should. It very much should.
I have been, I don't know if anyone else has, I have been on multiple occasions and served meals at the Latrobe mission. In really, Harry, support of John 6 and all the great work that he does down there. But in all the times that I've been down there, everyone has those that are eating, those that are serving, they've been respectful, they've been courteous, they've been kind.
Yes.
They've never taken more than what they should, and they have always shown a great level of gratitude for what they get.
Absolutely.
Again, just time and time again, I've always had a good experience when dealing with those that reside there and those that come in and eat. So thank you for what you're doing, and thank you for what you're going to continue to do within our communities.
I'm very excited. I mean, there's great things coming. I mean, truly, there are. And I'm thankful that you all gave me the opportunity to speak. And I also want to say, if y'all would like to volunteer to come serve one night at the mission or bring families to do it, we have open availability if you'd like to do that at any time.
I usually man the dessert counter. No need for anybody to comment.
I'm just curious, what's the average length of stay at the Latrobe mission?
Average length of stay? I mean, I'd have to do it. We are considered a 90-day temporary shelter. That is what we are, supposed to be. There are those that come in, and I mean, we can help them depending upon when they come in. They can be out in a month. But then others, if they've come in and, I mean, they don't have any, ID, birth certificate. I mean, sometimes it could take us a month to get a birth certificate in, and then it just slows that process down. I would have to look that up to give you a correct number of the average length, but it is supposed to be for 90 days. We definitely do have people that are there longer than that, though, because it just takes that long to get them through. So housing, I mean, that's a big one too.
Any other questions? No?
Thank you.
Thank you. Chad, you got a lot of deer in the end.
Good job, Michelle.
I'm gonna delete that comment. Next up is the MOB Fellowship Home. That's gonna be the soundbite, Henry, that they're gonna use right there.
Hello, is this good enough?
Yeah, that's good.
Okay, hi, I'm Brandy Blatt. I'm the ED of the Mid-Ohio Valley Fellowship Home. And this is Gabby, our family unit house manager, and she is brand new to us, but not really, and we'll get into that in just a minute. I see some faces I don't recognize, so I'll just let you know who we are. We are Sober Living in Parkersburg, and we have served the Mid-Ohio Valley for 55 years this year in April. So we are grounded and we are stable. We are also the second oldest home in the state that offers this service. Sober Living is continuum of care, which means after prison, jail, rehab, need to get back up on your feet and have some practice at living life on life's terms with a whole lot of support. That's what we offer. We are staffed 24/7, and we have an incredible good neighbor policy, and I take a lot of pride in that because it's important. It's really important. So with that being said, this year is a really big year for the Fellowship Home. We are expanding our services, and usually we treat women with children, men, and men with children. This year we're expanding to whole family units. So we have purchased a 2-unit home that will serve 2 family units, meaning you don't have to leave mom or dad at home and bring your kids. Your whole family can come to this facility and get better. 6 months to a year. It's designed for a year. It could be for more if you're having a lot of barriers getting back on your feet. And to my knowledge, we will be the first one in West Virginia to offer this type of service. It's a vision that I had thinking about my own recovery and what that looked like, and what I didn't give myself the opportunity to have, and that was I was accepted into the Genesis program, a very well-known women's program, but I didn't take that offer. I needed that offer. But I would have had to have left my husband at home, and I had an 18-month-old. Bringing my 18th month with me to Sober Living, taking him away from dad, who is such an important factor in our home life, still is, thank goodness, but thinking about that and what's outside the box type of thinking and how can we improve families. One summer day I was sitting outside the Fellowship Home. I work on a laptop, and adjacent from us is Gabby's children playing. Gabby is an alumni, graduate of our program, and I'm thinking about her and what would have made life a little bit easier. And I'm thinking about myself and what would make life a little bit easier. And this vision came to fruit, and I took it to the West Virginia First Foundation, and they gave us a grant to get this program started. And thinking about what I would come here and ask, I do want you to know that coming here feels like a holiday in a strange way, because I get to see people that I don't see all year, and it feels homey to me to be in this meeting with you guys. I don't know why. You're very welcoming. I've had not so welcoming interactions with previous, but I'm mending those relationships right now with our own city, very slowly but surely, inviting some in and having parties and trying to get everybody on board. We are the good guys in this field. We are tried and true, and I take a lot of pride in that. The Fellowship Home is bigger than anybody who runs it, and that's very important to me. I was raised in this neighborhood that we are expanding into, and I feel it's my personal responsibility to come back and help it heal, as I would have loved that opportunity as an adult, and as a kid too. I would have loved my parents to have had that ability, and I don't know if they would have taken it, but it would have been nice if it had been there. So I want to just tell you that I'm asking for the same amount last year, and when I'm writing grants and thinking of things, grants don't support transportation as far as a vehicle. They'll support leasing a vehicle. We need help with a vehicle. That's my mission this year, is to find funding for a vehicle. Right now, we have 2 vans. They're 6-passenger. We serve up to 36 members, but we're expanding by 10. That's assuming if we have 2 kids on the bottom unit and 4 on the top. And right now, we share a women's van, and that's not fun. So when we really open and we've got a whole family unit coming in, and well, we can't help transport you because we are in court with another, and the men's van is out. So my year is going to be getting this up and running and trying to make it better. And so it's for vehicles, so I'll be searching for other resources to match that. I have one match already, so we're just, yeah, that's all. I don't have anything else, but I would like you to hear from Gabby because she is a graduate and she's come back to work for us, and I think that's important to show too.
Welcome, Gabby.
Hi, thank you. So like she said, thank you, Brandon. Have you over here crying again? So my name's Gabby. I was a resident at the Fellowship Home in 2019. That's when I started my journey there. I had been in a relationship for 4 years with the father of my youngest 2 daughters. I'm a mom of 6. I had an open CPS case. It had been open for a little over a year when I became a resident at the Fellowship Home. My boyfriend, my kid's father, he's what we call a normie, so he doesn't have these same issues that I struggle with. And this created
what was that term you used?
a normie.
A normie.
I don't even like it really, but he is. So, my active addiction created a lot of trauma and turmoil in our relationship. Coming into recovery, I learned a lot of things on my own. But he doesn't get to work a program like I do. So this has really been a learning process for the both of us. Like I said, I came in 2019, I had an open CPS case, and we couldn't work on a relationship. Like, I can say I'm sorry all I want, and I can stay here and I can do the right thing for me, but how do I bring you along with me if you're secluded from what's happening, if you're secluded from the growth? So in, like I said, 2019, I was there, had an open CPS case. While I was living at the Fellowship Home, I was able to regain custody of all 6 of my children back. So,
congratulations.
Thank you. At the time, the Fellowship Home was equipped to take like 1 or 2, if that were the case, but 6 was kind of a big deal, and it happened overnight. So I get the call, how many kids can you accommodate? I'm asking the house manager, how many kids can you accommodate? All of them, she said. Okay, great. So by the next day, we had 2 sets of bunk beds, a baby bed, a crib, new toys, an ABC mat where they could learn the ABCs, and a race car mat that the boys could play with their little cars on. But I haven't had them for a year and a half. COVID hit, and we got really good quality time together while we were quarantined. I graduated there after 10 months staying there. Again, the relationship with my kid's father was still strained, but we still wanted to work on things. Like I said, I'm sorry only goes so far. And I'm trying to teach him these things, but as I'm learning, but I'm still learning too. I'm still growing too. So like this vision and that Brandy has started has really, it means a lot to me because I could learn that I didn't know that there was family therapy out there that could help us. You know, I didn't know about Al-Anon for people that don't struggle, but you know, in the relationships, people that don't struggle with substance abuse or alcohol. I didn't know about any of this stuff until I was out there on my own learning it. There was nobody there to help guide me, to kind of hold my hand. So the way that this is outlined, we get to pick another family that's in recovery that have been through these things, and our current family residents will kind of partner with them, and they'll walk them through these different resources, and we'll help guide them with the different resources that we know that are available throughout our community. And they get to do it as a whole family. So recovery is not just about one person, it's about the whole family. And I like that we are able to grasp onto that and be able to offer that right here at home. So that's all I got.
Thank you.
Gabby?
Yes.
First of all, thank you for sharing your story.
Yes.
I appreciate that.
You're welcome.
And am I allowed to ask your last name so I can get it?
Gregory.
Gregory. K-R-E-G-O-R-Y?
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
We are just not taking couples. One has to have a SUD, the other doesn't. So that is what is so new to the state is we will be able to offer services for the parent that's not just like her boyfriend who didn't have a disorder, but also suffered from being away and didn't have resources and kind of like a treatment plan outlined to help him too with this. Any questions?
Was it your group, was it last year or the year before you were having floor repairs done?
Yes, that's us.
How was your facility overall?
Okay, so overall, we do live in older buildings and slowly but surely are getting those really, it's just not that bad. They're in pretty good shape. And we get an expert here or there that comes through and says, hey, I can fix this for you. So right now it's more about making it feel like home, not like a facility, just personal touches here and there matter. The color of the walls, like psychology colors matters. And just warming things up as we turn the tide away from this is a facility to we're in this together. Like the other day I was holding a 3-month-old baby and doing a grant report. Because we're so hands-on there, we are so active that we're just kind of now in the works of making it feel homier.
Separate from your request, I would always suggest if there's a situation that you find yourself in, you're looking for something, you need something, reach out to me. One of the great things about my office is that I can utilize it to help organizations and people in need. And there are many people in other organizations that ask quite often, is there any needs within our community? Not just Vienna, but the community as a whole, because they're looking for ways that they want to help. So some of that stuff can be put on our radar, not necessarily that the city of Vienna would do it. I would very much like to be able to help resource some of those things as you go through that. But
thank you
so much. Let me know.
Yeah, thank you.
The worst I can say is I ain't got nothing.
Yeah,
yeah. But it never hurts to ask.
I really appreciate it.
Any other questions or comments? Thank you very much.
Thank you.
I don't see Jill. There's no one from the chamber?
No.
Ish? The Vienna Public Library.
Hi, my name is Brenna Kiggins, which feels weird because I got married a week and a half ago. So I'm introducing myself sometimes for like the first time in front of people. I was formerly Brenna Call. So same person if you see it in writing.
Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
We hope.
Yes, yeah, he's wonderful. It's a blessing. So I first want to say that I'm really humbled to be in the presence of so many people that work in the community, doing wonderful things, necessary things. I can't imagine, and it feels really great to work in a community where I know that there are these agencies out there helping people who need the help the most. So I think some of the people that have given presentations are gone now who care about people. So let me just say that. I am going to give a lot of statistics, so hopefully there's some questions and things at the end, or maybe not. Maybe I've covered it all. But the Vienna Public Library is an independent municipal library located at 2300 River Road in Vienna. It's owned by a 5-member board of trustees under the auspices of the City Board of Education. The Vienna Public Library provides its own staff, finances, collections, and building. It was established in 1955, so we're having a 50-year anniversary this year, which is exciting, by the Vienna Women's Club, and it was run by volunteers until 1967 when it became an independent nonprofit corporation operating under ordinances of the City of Vienna, Article 135. The library is a designate library operating under the administrative rules of the West Virginia Library Section. That's been kind of wild since they disbanded the Library Commission a couple of years ago, and then it fell under the Culture Center, and now we are under the Board of Tourism, which feels a little strange for libraries, but it's a learning experience as they organize things at the state level. With any resident of West Virginia or Washington County, Ohio, able to obtain a library card free of charge. We currently have 11,575 registered patrons, 62% of which are adults over the age of 18, 9% juvenile under the age of 18, and 29% seniors over the age of 60. Our budget for the fiscal year 2026 is approximately $657,308. And according to a state library funding law passed in 1987 requiring payment of a portion of the local property taxes to libraries in Wood County, the city of Vienna acted as a pass-through for those funds, which provided for our operating budget. The Wood County Commission provided $85,450, 13% of our budget, and the Wood County Board of Education funded us $60,000, which is 9% of the budget. The state of West Virginia gives a grant and aid based on population, the amount determined by the legislature. This grant was $56,057, which accounts for about 9% of our budget. The remainder of our funds, 4% of the total budget, come from library fines and fees, donations and memorial gifts, local grants, and the Friends of the Library fundraising efforts. We do have an active Friends of the Library group that holds 2 used book sales each year, as well as other fundraisers donating all proceeds to the library. With the funding that we receive, we're able to maintain an adequately paid and appropriately qualified staff of 7 full-time and 5 part-time employees. We provide books for patrons of all ages, from board books to large type materials, ebooks and digital audiobooks, DVDs, video games, music CDs, and audiobooks on CD. We currently own a materials collection of approximately 45,000 items, most of those being books. But we also have all the other items like DVDs. We have some non-traditional items, such as birding backpacks that people can check out and take to local parks to explore birding in the area or other wildlife watching in the area. We have baking materials, some tools. We're expanding on the non-traditional items at our library at this time, so look for new and exciting opportunities to borrow things other than the traditional items from the library. The original library was built in 1975. The library board did an expansion fund drive beginning in 2003, with the expansion being completed in 2006. This expansion added 46,000 square feet to make the library just over 11,000 square feet in size, providing adequate space for community meetings and comfortable patron engagement. With the funding that we received, we are able to buy furniture and equipment, providing 8 computers with internet access for the public to use and public Wi-Fi that's available inside or outside of the building 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Last year, we had almost 6,000 logins to our patron computers and Wi-Fi that was recorded in the previous year. We saw nearly 42,000 people coming into our building last year, many of whom visit us for personal business services, such as computer use and help with faxes, copies, notarization of documents, lamination services. Some people come in looking for pro se forms. Since the closure of some of the office stores downtown, we see a lot more personal business services being offered. Patrons also have access to color and black and white printers and photocopiers. Have a large meeting room equipped with a laptop, digital projector, and TV-DVD combo, open to use by nonprofit groups. It's occupied about 20 times per month on average to the public and community groups meeting in our library. We strive to provide the highest quality story hours and edutainment programming, employing early literacy techniques scientifically known to prepare young brains for later learning once they arrive at school. 1,347 Wood County children attended story hours programs and school tours in the last year at the library. We also work hard each summer to welcome children and their families to the library to engage in entertaining educational programming and reading challenges to help mitigate the effects of summer learning loss that happen while children are on summer break away from the classroom. We were able to engage with 302 participants last summer during our annual summer reading challenge, which takes place every week in June and July each summer. Because the most effective influence determining if a child will become a reader is that of seeing their caregivers as readers, we also offer classes and lectures for adults, with over 1,000 in attendance last year, as well as encouraging family literacy by offering adult summer reading challenges as well. The funds we receive allow us to offer up to 4 programs a week, 1 for each age group during the summer. A total of 6,238 hours were read and recorded by our summer reading participants over June and July in 2025. The mission of the Vienna Public Library is to improve the quality of life for all citizens of our community by providing in the most efficient manner possible resources that enhance and contribute to individual knowledge, enlightenment, and enjoyment. In an effort to utilize our funds most efficiently, the library board has a finance committee to help the board with long-term planning regarding finances, investments, and savings. The board is grateful for the City of Vienna's continued support of the Vienna Public Library, and it's respectful of the money that is granted to us by local property taxes coming in through the City of Vienna. We take the utmost care to always spend those funds wisely, and we thank the City Council members for their continued support. So we are a little bit different because the City of Vienna it is a pass-through for that state money that comes through. It's funded locally through property taxes. So we're not really asking for a set amount. It's just the amount that is determined by that law in the legislature. Does anybody have any questions?
Yes, I do.
Sure.
Could you spell your last name?
Yes, Kiggans.
Okay, and that's Brenna, Brenna. Okay,
Yes.
thank you.
As I said recently, I learned that you guys had the mobile.
Yes, we have the
library.
Novel Branch, which the last 3 years we have had. Novel Branch is a book vending machine that you use your library card to check out books that holds about 140 items. It has currently been living at the Grand Central Mall, but that location really isn't working for us as well as we would have liked. And so I met with Mayor Emmerich a couple weeks ago just to see if there was another better location we could partner with the city, and he suggested that a possible partnership with WVUP's Innovation Center. So that's very exciting. So we're at the very beginning stages of moving that machine to a different location that might serve some patrons better, and I appreciate that suggestion from Mayor Emmerich.
And that's going to be located in the dorm area.
Awesome.
That's very good.
That's awesome, yes.
Any other questions? Thank you.
All right, thank you very much, appreciate it. Oh, let me just say, we just partnered with the Boys and Girls Club, and your teens came to our teen program today, and I am so excited by that partnership. I am hoping that we can partner more on a regular basis. Your kids were great. Isaiah's wonderful, and so excited. So
Isaiah Walker.
Boys the Boys and Girls Club popular.
yes,
Yes, we are.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you. Do we have anybody from the MOV Triple W? No? All right. That concludes the presentations that we have. Do we have any council member that has any reports, standing boards, or committee updates? Any council comments or announcements? You want to talk about the skate party this week? There's a skate party that'll be going on at Skate Country next Saturday.
That's right. No, I appreciate you bringing that up. So, actually, this Saturday, the 21st, the Wood County Prevention Coalition is hosting a skating party over on south side of Skate Country. It starts at 5 p.m., goes until 7 p.m. Completely free for all school-age kids. We're encouraging people to get registered online. I think last I heard, my wife said there was something like 250 kids.
Today when I talked to her, it was like 300 or 400.
There's a lot of kids coming out to have some free food and free skating, and we're gonna have a good time. So if you're interested, if Boys and Girls Club would like to bring some kids, check out. I think there's a flyer on Facebook. You can get on the Wood County Prevention Coalition's website. There's sign-ups and stuff. Everything's online, so check it out. But yeah, it's Saturday. This Saturday. 5 p.m. to 7 p.m. registration's still open. I think we can hold 700 there before they're going to start kicking people out. So that's
awesome.
Thank you for reminding me, Mayor.
You're very welcome. Henry?
The state of West Virginia is holding its high school swim championships at Milan Park today and tomorrow. So they have prelims in the morning, finals in the afternoon. So we got a lot of good kids over there.
Anyone else? If there are no other comments, this meeting stands adjourned.